Hello there, beautiful people. Stephilippines here, and welcome back to my channel, everybody. So, for today's video, guys, we are going to be talking about a very interesting topic because I will be providing you a series of questions, which is a very tricky questions that you can actually ask to your Filipino partners so that you will get to know more about them, their opinions in life, their perception in life, and also for you to be able to see if both of you are really compatible with your Filipino women. First one is, why are you dating a foreigner? The reason why you have to ask this question to your Filipino women so that you will also know exactly what are their intentions, their motivations, if why they are dating foreigners, because there are a lot of Filipino women who are actually dating foreigners based on money, on the perceived benefits or advantages that they can actually get from dating from dating a foreigner. So in that way, you will also know exactly what her intentions towards you, and if she is really dating you based on genuine interest, or whether it's just because of again perceived benefits from dating a foreigner. Okay, so now let's go to the next tricky question that you can actually ask your Filipino women is that how do you feel about moving or relocating to my country or to other country? Right off the bat, especially like after 2 weeks, a month of talking to your Filipina, and if you genuinely like her and you can feel that she genuinely likes you, then it's really important for you as well to ask this question because in that way, you will be able to understand her willingness if she is really interested in relocating or moving to another country with you, especially if you are the type of a foreigner who is actually not ready to settle down here in the Philippines yet. Or worst case scenario, if you don't see yourself retiring or like living here in the Philippines. So it's important to like someone who is actually willing to move to your country with you to build a life and to have a family with you there someday. What if both of you right now are in a serious long-term relationship? Let's just say you guys have been together for 3 years, 2 years, 1 year, or whatever is that. And then after a few years of dating, then that's the only time that you are actually talking about relocating to the other country. And now that she's not interested in relocating there, so you are stuck between choosing going back to your country or choosing your Filipina and just stay here in the Philippines. Let's go to the third tricky questions that you can ask to your Filipino women is that, do you have any plans to work after we move in together or after we get married? I know that a lot of you foreigners are very generous and very, supportive of your Filipina, especially in terms of financial assistance. I know that they can always count in you. But guys, you have to remember that not all the time you can actually be there for them. So it's really important as well to know what her goals are, especially if you have moved in together or if you are, officially married. I know that men should be the provider, men should be the one to support in everything, especially in terms of money in the family. But guys, if your Filipino woman is actually planning to, like stay in girlfriend or stay in wife, then that's fine, especially if you have the means to actually support her. But it's also important as well to ask her this very important question because in that way you will also know if she is actually interested in working in corporate jobs or working or have a business. It doesn't mean that if you guys already married, like she doesn't or she is not going to allow herself to discover more about herself, about your marriage, and also to help you as well in terms of financial. Because what if you guys already married and then she doesn't want to financially depend on you and she actually wants to open a business or work in corporate jobs or do something that she's very passionate about. But guys, if you are the type of a foreigner who actually don't have a lot of money and you only have enough of money, enough to financially sustain your daily needs together as a marriage or as a couple, then you don't have to actually be worried about like asking her this question because if you know to yourself that you really don't have a lot, if you don't really have the means to support her, then it's also important as well to ask her question like, hey, do you have any plans to work, or do you have any plans to open a business or something like that, so that she can also help you as well. Because I do really believe, guys, that it's not just all about you. Relationships should also like helping each other and be there, support each other, and it's not just you who's gonna work everything for that relationship to work. And guys, if you want to date someone in the Philippines, a good genuine Filipina, then you can actually sign up for the dating service that I do really 100% trust, which is Christian Filipina. You can go ahead to my bio or to my description box below, click the link, and then there you can start your dating journey there, okay? Let's go to the next tricky question, is that why did your past relationship did not work out? In this way, you can actually know if why both of them didn't work out. Is it because she is toxic? Is it because she has a lot of red flags as a girlfriend? Or is it because she did something that jeopardized or inflicted that relationship in her past? Okay, so now let's go to the next tricky question that you can ask your Filipino woman, is that, do you have any plans to have kids and why? And ask your Filipina about this, if is she a single mom, or if she has any plans to actually raise and have a kids with you in the future. And you can actually ask if how many kids that she wants in the future with you. So if you are a foreigner who actually got your vasectomy done already and you are not capable of providing kids anymore, or like a babies with a girl, then you can actually just be direct and be upfront to your Filipina and just set a proper expectation that if she has a plans to actually wants to have a kids with you soon, and then unfortunately you cannot give her any of that, then I mean, unfortunately, it's really sad, right? Because again, we Filipino women are actually wanting to have kids on our own someday. Like, we want to raise and have that nice family. But if you cannot provide her any of that, then, like kids, babies, then just tell her honestly. Maybe she might be able to understand where you're coming from, and then you can just communicate, or you can just talk through it, and then you can figure out if how you can possibly like uh have kids in your house, and regardless if it's your own kids or not. Okay, so guys, let's go to the next tricky questions that you could ask your Filipino partner, is that, have you been married before, or have you been annulled before? If not, then can you provide me a sinumar or a certificate of marriage, so that I will also verify it myself if you are really like 100% single and you're actually not fooling me around and you're not lying to me. Here in the Philippines, although we don't have a divorce here and annulment is actually legalized here, but there are actually a lot of Filipino women who are actually legally married to a Filipino man, or may it be with a foreigner, but they will actually do different kind of unexpected things just to hide that they have been married before, or just to hide their marriage identity, and in that way they can use that one to manipulate you, to fool you, and also to make you fall in love with them, because all this time they have been tricking you and they have been manipulating you that they are actually 100% single and they are not, they have never been married before. So guys, the only way for you to find out is you can actually ask her this, Cinemar, to verify if she is really single and she doesn't have, like husband, she doesn't have kids or any of that. Okay, so now let's go to the next tricky question that you can ask your Filipino women, is that, what is your opinion, or what is your stance about prenuptial agreement? Okay, so it's really important as well to ask this very tricky questions to your Filipino women, because you will get to know about her opinion, about her stance, and this kind of subject, which is the prenuptial agreement. Because in that way, you will also know if she is actually willing to sign the prenuptial agreement for you, or if she is actually hesitant and having a second thoughts of not sign up for a prenuptial agreement because of this, because of that, whatever reasons that she has. I know that trust and loyalty is the most important thing or the foundation of having a healthy relationship, guys. I know that. And it's also important to trust your Filipino women, especially if you see yourself, being married with that person. But that doesn't mean that you're going to compromise as well, especially if you have been in a failed marriage before, way back in your country. Maybe you are divorced now and you didn't get any prenuptial agreement with your ex-wife, and all the things that you own is actually, like your ex wife actually has access to that. So you are probably traumatized with that situation, and now you're wanting to be with a Filipina who is actually 100% okay with signing the prenuptial agreement. So that's the reason why I said that it's also important to ask her this question, to know what her answers would be, and to use this situation or to use this, like tricky question, if she is really someone that you would want to be with. Depends on the answer that she's gonna provide to you, okay? And you're lucky if she's gonna understand that. If she's not, then I'm sorry to say that it's time to change the Filipina. Okay, so why would you waste your time, your life to someone who is actually not ready, who is actually not compromising, who is actually not committed to be with you, even if it means that you're gonna have to ask her to sign for that prenuptial agreement to prove her intentions towards you, if she is really into you because she is genuinely attracted and she is genuinely interested or genuinely love you. Okay, so it's easy, guys. Okay. The next tricky questions that you can ask your Filipino woman, which is, how many body counts do you have? Okay, I know this is quite personal to ask, but if your Filipino that you're talking to is actually very open-minded and she doesn't really mind whatever questions that you're gonna ask her, then go ahead answer this question. Especially if you are someone who is very conservative, like if you're a foreigner who wants to date or who wants to be with a Filipina, or not just a Filipina but just women in general, if you're gonna date someone who has a low body count, because I know in the West, dating culture there, or like the hookup culture there is very rampant, and that basically means that like hooking up with each other is actually a thing there, and it's very normal there. Unlike here in the Philippines, although it's becoming like there is actually a lot of Filipino women and Filipino men as well who actually do that kind of thing. But I must say that it's just like around 5 to 10% here in the Philippines, because a lot of Filipino women or just Filipino people in general are actually quite conservative still, and they actually don't really do the hookup culture, and they preserve their pureness and their virginity as well to someone that they genuinely love. So to the last but not the least, you can actually ask this tricky question to your Filipino woman, if how many kids that she has, or if she is a single mom. If you are dating someone right now, and especially online, so you are not, you don't personally see her as well, so that also means that she has a lot of things going on in her life that you don't know about yet, like having kids or not. So it's important to ask as well if she's a single mom or not, for you to be able to know as well if she's the right person for you, especially if you don't want to date someone who is a single mom and who has a kids. Then it's time to just, I mean, it's, like, let's just not waste each other's time, right? You can actually just go ahead and look for other Filipino women who is actually 100% single, who is actually low body count, and who doesn't have kids and is not a single mom and doesn't have a lot of baggages and experience in life yet. Yes, that's it, everybody. Thank you so much for watching my video. And if you want to ensure that you are looking and meeting the right and genuine Filipina for you, then you can go ahead and click the link on my description box below. And if you guys want to find what exactly the type of Filipina that you're looking for, then you can go ahead and visit or click the link on my bio. So thank you so much, everybody, and see you to my next video. Bye!